Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. This is a quick tour of a rain garden installation at North Carolina State University in front of their horticulture building right close to me in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's a really beautiful piece of landscaping that has a function, and that function is to filter rainwater. And you can saw right from the beginning of the video how water moves through this. It drops into a low space, and the water is allowed to soak into the ground. If it's super heavy rain, there's a drain there, and it goes down to the next level and the next level, and hopefully they capture most of the water and just have it go soak directly into the ground and filter it through the groundwater system. But if it absolutely ever got overwhelmed, it would eventually overflow into the normal path that water takes from normally, rain falls on your roof, and then it ends up on your sidewalk, and then it ends up on your driveway, and then it ends up in the city sewer system. This is a better technique of taking that water and allowing it to soak into the ground and filter it. I'm going to do a rain garden in this yard, and so I was super interested in showing you this. I put a photo up about 2 weeks ago of this on Instagram, and I had a senior in the Hort department at NC State who unfortunately right now is having to do his last classes online, sent me the plant list. So I really appreciated that. I knew what the plants were, but I didn't necessarily know the exact cultivars. So that was super helpful. So here's a look at this rain garden installation at North Carolina State University. So this is NC State's campus right here in front of Kilgore. There's lots of beautiful specimen plants out here, Japanese maples, all kinds of things. But they recently installed this really beautiful addition right here, and it's a garden with a function. It's filtering water that is leaving the property through these drains right here, and so they created these beautiful spirals around these drains and added some really interesting plants into this space. There's an oak leaf hydrangea here. We'll just start right here, right off the bat. There's some Amsonia blooming right here. These plants will repeat as we move down the line. There's a couple different juncus here. This grass right here, this is an upright one, and if we go right there, that's a big twister, which has those little twisted spirals, but it's also a type of juncus as well. There's a lot of things that haven't come up. There's some butterfly weed, Asclepias, and several other things that have not woken up yet. I know there's some hibiscus on the list here, a perennial hibiscus that haven't woken up. The yellow down here at the bottom is variegated sweet flag. Ogon is that variety, and there's some, they use some carex out here on this corner right there. There's several red buds in this space. This is Golden Falls, the one that I have put in at my house. Beautiful gold foliage. This one's a little ahead of mine because it's been in the ground, and mine came from Tennessee. There's some dwarf mondo grass, of course some pansies here in the southeast. Pansies don't last much longer than mid to late spring. Those will be replaced with some other annuals. There's a prostrate plum yew right there. And I'll pan you over to this other side. Like I say, a lot of this stuff will repeat. There's another plum yew there, and this is that spiraled juncus here called Big Twister. I used to grow this one at my nursery. Easy to sell. It's such an interesting little contorted grass. There's some Baptisia right here coming up. This is the first year for these. Next year, these get quite full. They get about the size of peonies. They look a lot like the shape of peonies when they're coming up. And then, of course, they get those beautiful blue flower spikes on them. Again, there's a lot of repeats in this particular section. This upright juncus and the sweet flag down in the bottom of that spiral. And more Amsonia right here. So the drain is right here, and notice, it'll be hard to tell, but this area over here is actually lower, and a lot of the water will settle down there before it goes into this drain and end up in the groundwater and be filtered through the groundwater system, which is what we really need to be doing, rather than having water just run off into our city streets and into our sewer systems. And then any overflow, obviously on big heavy rains, is going to leave out of that drain. But it rained pretty heavily this morning, and it settled into this bottom, and like I say, it'll enter the the groundwater rather than the sewer system. So this is the other side of that space, and there's actual poppies planted through here. There's one right there that's about to bloom, and on the corner right here is more of those carex. So it's just such an interesting mix of things in a functioning space where you're going to try to filter out this water before it enters the sewer system. There's an iris right here in the middle, and several other iris varieties here and there. Just planted throughout. Some earlier blooming, some blooming a little later. This is Ruby Falls redbud right here, and most of these redbuds were actually hybridized right here at NC State. And this is a weeping one with the maroon foliage, and the one that Golden Falls is right there with the gold foliage. And I'll show you another one in a minute coming up. This is dwarf Yaupon right here. This is Stokes. These are native shrubs that are really super tough out here in this open space. And then again, let me spin you back around slow. The big star right here right this minute is this Buckeye, which is still in bloom right here. They bloom pretty early, but this is such a beautiful specimen of Buckeye right here. And they put this little seeding area in and kind of duplicated these spirals in this seeding area. Headed back around here, there's some Cosmos planted right there, and one other unknown redbud planted right there with green foliage. A little bit of a weeping habit to it. More of the Juncus planted through here, and again, they just keep repeating these spirals any place these drains are. So this is the new redbud everybody's gonna want. This one's called Flamethrower. It's absolutely stunning. It has not only the burgundy new foliage, but as it ages, it actually ages to gold back here, and then rather than having the green on the inside of them, which is what the gold ones and the burgundy and the burgundy foliage ones do, this one actually changes all kinds of colors as the leaves mature. It's really beautiful. This Flamethrower redbud's going to be everywhere in a few years, but again, this is another one that was done right here at North Carolina State University. There's a Poet's Laurel here. It's looking great, and again, this is the other side of that Buckeye. Really quite a specimen right there. There's several butterfly bushes, and a lot of these dwarf butterfly introductions, the butterfly bush introductions were done here at NC State as well, but there's several different varieties, and these all stay, in the 3-foot range, maybe 4 feet ultimately. And they've got this bee nest here set up. Down here, there's some bachelor's button right here about to start opening up. And there were several other plantings of these coming down. I just didn't point them out because they weren't as big as these. These right here have gotten quite a bit ahead. But I'll step back. You can take a look at how nice this installation is. These spirals. That sweet flag just stands out from a mile away. They left this Buckeye here, which is quite beautiful. And then all of these trees, as they mature, these weeping redbuds and upright redbuds will be beautiful. They picked, 6 or 7 stars and kind of repeated them as they went, used them again and again here. The Juncus and the sweet flag, oak leaf hydrangea, and kind of stuck to a theme and repeated them. And it really is really is a nice space. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for upcoming content.